are 26 in number, so we had a 2 months familiarization exercise, and every day in these 2 months was really engaging, as we have one person to host us through the whole day, telling us about his professional experience, his life, his country. So at least we are able to understand the different aspects of our differences and even appreciate it better. We are 18 countries all together, and it was very rewarding. And that was everything we shared. We were able to put it together in a small booklet, which some of us have copies.
But we have 5 areas in our action plan. One is about the documentary, and the little that I want to talk about it. The small thing I would say about the documentary is that Yuan has started something, and we agreed that we will be introducing ourselves and have it captured. And I think Lorenta has started drafting the script, which will be used for that. I think the administration has also declared their intention, willingness, and support to also have us linked to the media team for any support.
So what is she writing about?
Don't worry.
I'm not actually, okay, let me just add to what
You just clarify.
what
Yes.
he's trying to say.
Yes.
She's not scripting out what we're going to be saying,
No,
but
no,
just a checkbox to make sure that everything is actually captured, so that when they put it together, that we've got what we need to find.
If we take something, I think a little funny or something that really can actually add on to the project itself, I think we should be able also to post it on the group so that it's kept for records purposes, so that maybe when they are actually putting the whole thing together, we have an inclusive. We shouldn't just leave it to you and to do the work. I think it's kind of
Yes.
One is about the culture and social activities.
Before turning that,
We form a committee on that, and we have a list of activities which we want to do. But I can't say on authority that we have that time to do it because of the nature of the program and schedule here. But I think what we have to do is that if there is a need to fuse it into any of the activities which will be happening, especially on Tuesday, like this, I've heard that is the welcoming, what, then we can fit the culture aspect into that. Or they even have it already on plan.
That's on Tuesday.
Yes, they have it on plan already. So
are we wearing
And
our
then-
traditional
Yes.
yes, maybe on that day
on
we can
Tuesday?
use that occasion to showcase
Is
our
that what we
traditional
do?
way.
My suggestion would be that if we don't get the time from the university, it could be one of the uniting factors. Maybe we choose like every 2 days in a week, we sit and we give someone an opportunity to share a bit of culture in their
It would be
country
nice. It would be nice.
for like 30 minutes, and then it would help us also to come together at least twice a week.
You know,
Because I don't think we will have enough time from the university to really go through all our cultures.
yeah, it is very easy to
What mother did today, like she brought coffee and we
yeah, she
shared,
gave
like
some
she told
history.
us how
Yes,
coffee
Yeah.
is made in Ethiopia.
yes.
I think, it wasn't like
Very formal.
very formal, but we learned about coffee in Ethiopia and we shared. It was just like it's common. It was not long. It didn't take up to an hour. So yeah, we come back from class just like we're sitting here. Maybe I bring like snacks from Cameroon and I share with everyone and tell you how some of the things that are very particular about Cameroon.
Yes.
So
Just like
we can just put those 20-30 minutes when you come back from class or whatever activity we are having. We just assemble here and just have fun, like 20 minutes of culture.
How true can we?
I think when we say cultural exchange, our culture can be defined in several ways. It doesn't have to be formal. The way I dress can explain my culture.
Yeah.
The way I eat, what I eat, or what the dance that I can do for you guys, it can be part of my culture. Again, yeah, it's up to me. It's up to me. I mean, if I want to tell you about Ethiopia, it's for me.
Yeah.
You know, selling my country, introducing my country. So it should be a pride for us.
Yes.
Yeah, it should not be a force
Yeah.
in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it should be voluntary. Again, the other day we all, like most of us, for example, signed up to cook dinner that's
Part
going to
of
be
it.
one way of showing our culture.
Perfect.
Food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in addition to what she just said, I think it's up to us. If I don't want to introduce Ethiopia to you guys, lost chance. I lost. It's not up to anyone. It's up to me.
What we're saying is we want it to be more of an organic process where we're saying we're doing this because we're actually interested and it's fun and we want to learn, not that we want to make a classroom out of it. So I think they will definitely give us opportunities through dinners and things like that to share our cultures, and I think we can just leverage on top of that. I do worry that we schedule things in now, we don't actually know what the workload is going to be like the next couple of weeks, and so if we say we're going to meet half an hour once every second day, it might not be practical. So I think the details around these projects, we should probably look at that a few days into the program to say what is actually feasible in this time and what isn't.
Yeah, who said in practice. So this is something that I don't know if anybody's writing things down. You can write it down and bring it up again on WhatsApp. I mean, WhatsApp is a great forum. Bring it on WhatsApp, then like anybody, if you're interested. I mean, you like a raise of hand on WhatsApp and like I'm interested to host. And I mean I think that if you're not interested to come out, if you come back from class you're tired, you can go to bed.
Okay.
And me if I want to share about Lesotho, I'll come out.
Okay.
And get
So
what Lesotho have got to offer.
which is Mama Minda. So if there is anything you want to say, I think you can liaise with her and she will communicate to us. We will update it on our platform. If you are interested to sit here and listen to it, fine.
We can have a schedule over 17 days. Like each day will be dedicated to a country. Yes, this is my suggestion. And the people from that country will have to decide how they want to organize it. If you want to cook, whatever you want to do,
dance.
but this is your day.
Yes.
Then when we come, then we can set the time. If it's 30 minutes, we do that after. We can ask you some questions about your country, know your country, but try also to know you better. Then this is my suggestion. I don't know what you guys think.
I think we can take we can take advantage of the dining hall meetings to see some of these things come to pass, because if you know you can maybe do that presentation, you go there early, take your food, finish very early. As people are
It was a concern that was raised earlier, but I think what we're doing is we're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
I've spoken to fellows from BSU before, and they say we're very busy. The program is there's a lot of workload. It's not just going to be classes and site visits. In the evenings, we'll sometimes have homework to do.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have this discussion again in a week's time.
Yeah.
And we see what is expected of us, because the number one priority is the program that they have set out for us. That is why we are here.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of extra time on the bus trips, dinners and stuff that we can have. Focus on all the other things. So we need to first see what is expected of us. Because unfortunately, the orientation, they didn't really give us a lot of information on
The program.
The intensity of the program.
the intensity. So like, I've heard from other people that it's very intense. We're all very different people. We all have different energies. I know personally, I'm a big introvert, so I need time by myself.
Yeah.
I need a few hours a day doing my own thing, processing information. If I'm like, as much as I love you all, if I have to spend every minute every day, I'm gonna get very tired, and I'm gonna. So we also just need to bear that in mind, that we all have different ways of doing things. So we just need to respect the fact that we all are individuals and we all have our individual personalities.
Yes.
As much as togetherness is important, and obviously we should focus on that, but all do things differently. We just need to be mindful of that.
Elon said, some of us again signed up to cook dinner, our own dinner.
Yes.
For example, I signed up, so the three of us are going to cook Ethiopian food one of the days next week, hopefully, including the hosts, not just us. Because we want to also the hosts to learn about our cultures. So that day we will be, speaking to you about Ethiopia and some of the things. Like it should not be taking more than half an hour. That will be it.
So
I am not going to come back again
to talk about Ethiopia. It's boring.
That's good. So,
Hey guys, just like I know that the last point we need to talk about is the moot courts.
Yeah.
But I do know we're going to have a very strong focus on criminal justice in our coursework throughout this program. So I would like to see maybe there's a way to integrate that into our coursework. We don't have to plan
I think
something
Dr.
separate.
Megan said she wants to integrate
Yes.
it.
So I'd say rather let's have that conversation with them. Let's not try and plan something separate once again until we know what the course is going to look like. So I honestly think that we should just continue this conversation next week. And unless there's any other urgent things, we should just let guys honestly go and do their thing.
But Dr. Michael already met I and Rachel on yesterday, and he said he would want to get a topic by Monday. The topic we want to talk about, because he's also trying to see how he integrates that into the week's program. That it's not going to be too. According to him, that he's going to talk to the magistrate, to the Massachusetts High Judge and other legal luminaries to come and be part of the day. So he wants us to submit that to him by Monday. So based on that and what we suggested on the strategic plan, that we are going to be having a discussion, more or less a debate on one of those pertinent issues that defining the continent of Africa. Probably the legal practitioners will be able to come up with a case, like maybe a regular case. I don't know. We can talk about that better. Then the case will be deliberated on, like it's going to be like a real court session, but it's not. Then in the end, the Americans will be able to share some best practices and also other countries' observations based on how they do these things in their various countries. Then by that, we'll be able to also form another session for information sharing, intelligence gathering, and new forum for learning. So I want to think that we should use this forum to think about the topic, or the committee on the moot court. Please sit after now, come up with 2 topics so we keep to our word and submit that to him by Monday. That's my suggestion.
Who is heading this committee?
On the WhatsApp group, Harold shared the social contract, and we're supposed to get it finalized by Monday. I'm happy to volunteer to take everyone's submissions and put it together. So if everyone can go have a look at it. If you have anything to add, please send an email to me, and then I'll put up a document and I'll put it together, and then we can vote on it tomorrow night or something.
Great.
To make sure that we have a social contact. I'm happy to take responsibility for that.
Let's finish on the moot court.
I have few things to share with the team. Let us be very mindful of something here. This is American system that we want to embrace within armies, right? We are talking of the best practices that we want to learn. But in as much we want to learn on those best practices, let us look at what is applicable back home. We have different legal systems, right? I'm not very much au fait with the court systems within the different countries. But in as much we want to practice that moot debate, it's very welcoming, very fantastic. But how are we going to present it back home upon completing it here? What are going to be the achievements at the end of the day? How is it going to play within us as a team? It's very important. We should always consider, whenever we're taking decision, let us contextualize it to what best suits us. We are learning, we are still on the page. Even if we are to go by with that, I think whosoever works with the African Union, like Marty, it's going to be a very huge tax for you. But whatever presentation you're going to do, you should always make sure you capture these kind of things for us from Africa, because we don't know the type of platforms that you will be presenting some of your work. But notwithstanding, you can be including these kind of things. Let us consider the different legal frameworks we have back home. People like the Francophone countries and the English, like my country, they have different versions of how things works best.
Well, I was trying to really understand what it is that we want to achieve through this activity. Yeah, is it about developing our skill? If that is the case, the approach can be different. Is it about sharing our way of working in the court system, whatever country we are coming from, to the institute and the people of America? If that is the case, again, the approach is different. Yeah. We have to be really clear in terms of what is it that we want to get out of this. Yes. You know, if it's about us showing them that we can debate, it could be something else. For example, as my sister from Zambia said, we have different legal, Monica, as she said, we have different legal systems. Common law, civil law, and the way we argue, the way we make our submission is different. And the same is true here. So can we call it, if we have to do it, I don't want to resist. If we have to do it, can we stop calling it moot trial? Can we say it's a debate?
Yes.
And we have several areas of discussion that we can debate on in the continent. That could be pertinent to all of us. That could be a similar topic that we can take on. For example, can I mention an example?
Yes.
The highest, okay, maybe nowadays, corruption can be something that we can debate on. I don't know how the other person is going to make a case, but then we can talk about, these international crimes, genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, armed conflict. In our continent, we have several conflicts going on, and there is of course a case around the ICC, making submission to the ICC. Our heads of states are being called in the ICC. How do we feel about that? I can make a great argument.
Look at its practicability in the circumstance. Yes, we cannot just come with something because we just want to do it, but we don't have what is on ground for it. We come from different jurisdictions. Like the matter was said, I said it. What is obtainable in Ethiopia is not obtainable in Nigeria. What is practicable in Cameroon is not practicable in Mozambique. So we cannot harmonize these legal systems and say you will have a moot court trial on it. You cannot. It is not practicable.
Different
actually.
Systems.
You can observe my withdrawal since when the idea was brought. I am not comfortable with it, but I cannot just kick it just without reason. Yes, but if someone insisted that we must have a moot court trial, then we shall put it to vote. Yes, but
where certain things are challenged at the Supreme Court. You understand? And those ones. No, Supreme Court happens to be the highest court. I don't know, even in the US, Supreme Court is the highest court.
Africa has its own.
Wait.
No, it's very important, like having a moot trial, because we have many lawyers in the group. But what are we there? I don't understand the point of what is our place. We who are not lawyers, who don't understand everything, even though it's enjoyable to listen to lawyers. And even though I think that a moot trial will be very important, what matters seems very relevant to me, because everybody can come and present on what he is doing. Like, when you want to hear about gender, I would be very at ease to talk about that. It can be done not only like a moot trial, but like a presentation, and then you ask any question you want on that. So presentation or debate would be something very inclusive, I think, for all of us to feel in a mood, right?
I want to make one point that I think is quite important. This decision was made and the discussion was made on the WhatsApp group where, one, not all of us were on, and two, not all of us are equally active on. I've been in the group in a week. There's 5 people, 6 people that speak a lot, and there's people that say nothing. So, and I think what I'm trying to say is, I think whatever forum we decide on, it should be voluntary. I think people should have the option to opt in and opt out. I personally don't see the value of a moot trial for myself. And I don't. It's not that it's not valuable exercise, but for myself, I might want to set up a meeting in that time with someone else that's more relatable to my professional experience. So I think it should be voluntary. And I think the committee should make the decision of the forum.
No, I don't think we're
have a consensus.
Okay.
And what I understand here, if we have many debate, that means that many persons don't agree with the material.
Okay.
And those who prepare it, I know that they trust it. It is something they make many investment. We discuss with the president or the naval person in Bridgewater State. But sometimes you have to plan something, and finally it don't.
Well, if we're going to go ahead, and if we believe that we can't actually deliver something that's going to be of value, we need to cut it.
Wow.
And that's a decision we need to make. And I can't make the decision. I have no experience in this, and this is where the committee needs to step in and step up and have that debate and make the decision. That shouldn't be the responsibility of the whole group. That's why we have committees. And I know that we have different opinions on that committee, and so we can really entrust you guys to make the decision.
Yeah.